understand why the king married his most beautiful princess to a pig, even making her live in a pigsty and eat pig feet. The king had 3 beautiful daughters. One day, he planned to go shopping at the market himself and asked his daughters what gifts they wanted. The eldest daughter said she wanted a golden dress, the second daughter wanted a silver dress, and the youngest daughter said she didn't want either of those. Instead, she wanted a bunch of talking grapes, a smiling apple, and a tinkling peach. Although these things surely weren't available at the market, the loving king said he'd do his best to find them. Soon, he arrived at the market and bought dresses for the eldest and second daughters. But after asking all the merchants, they all said they'd never seen the things the youngest princess wanted. The king was frustrated for not being able to get what his daughter wanted. Just then, the carriage suddenly jolted violently. Looking closely, he found that the wheel had gotten stuck in a deep pit on the ground and couldn't be pulled out no matter what. The news that the king was trapped quickly spread throughout the nearby village. The villagers all came out to help, but even with so many people, they couldn't free the carriage. Just when everyone was at a loss, a white pig appeared. It said it could rescue the king, but in return, the king had to marry the youngest princess to it. The king shook hands with the pig, making a deal on a whim. Then the pig used its snout to push the trapped wheel. In an instant, the whole carriage lifted off the ground and then sped toward the castle. After returning, the king gave the dresses to the eldest and second daughters, and then regretfully told the youngest that he hadn't brought back what she wanted. Just then, a huge snore came from outside the castle. The king looked out of the window and was shocked to see the pig pushing a cart to the castle. It said it had come to take the youngest princess home, but the king didn't really want to give his precious daughter away, so he found a maid and dressed her up as the princess to send out. However, the white pig was smart and immediately saw that the person in front of it wasn't the king's daughter. The king began to regret his promise, and the youngest princess burst into tears when she learned about it. After some thought, the king came up with an idea. He had his daughter dressed up in a dirty and messy way, hoping the white pig would give up marrying the princess. But the moment the white pig saw the princess, it got so excited that it flew up, quickly picked up the princess and put her in the cart, then rushed all the way home. It told the princess that it would surely make her happy, but the princess cried all the way. The white pig soon brought the princess back to its pigsty, made her sleep on a pile of dirty hay, and said this would be her home from now on. Hearing this, the princess cried even more sadly. The white pig brought corn for the princess to eat. The princess took a bite and found it tasted awful. So she cried again and eventually cried herself to sleep. The next day when she woke up, she found herself sleeping in a comfortable bed. The princess could hardly believe her eyes. The pigsty had turned into a luxurious palace. Before she could react, a group of maids rushed out to dress and groom her. Soon the princess took off her tattered clothes and put on a noble and beautiful dress. Then she was led to the dining room. There was a very handsome man. The man said everything here belonged to the princess, and if she wanted, he could belong to her too. The princess was curious about who this strange man was, but the man didn't answer. Instead, he led the princess into a garden. There, the princess found the talking grapes, the smiling apple, and the tinkling peach. The man asked the princess if she would marry him. Seeing the man's sincerity, the princess said she was willing to stay and marry him. Only then did the man start to explain everything. He said he was originally a king, but was cursed by a witch and turned into a pig. Later, he heard that the curse could be lifted if he found a woman who wanted talking grapes, a smiling apple, and a tinkling peach. The king held a grand wedding for the princess, and the princess